Learn English through stories. 9 very interesting stories. Level 3. Story 1.
The Tale of Two Minds, How Learning a New Language Transforms the Brain. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, lived two friends, Ella and Luca. They had known each other since childhood and shared a love for adventure and learning. Ella was an artist, always seeing the world in vibrant colors, while Luca was a musician, constantly surrounded by melodies and rhythms. One day they stumbled upon an old, dusty book in the village library titled The Wonders of the Mind. Curiosity piqued, they opened the book and found a chapter about the effects of learning a new language on the brain. It spoke of incredible benefits, enhanced cognitive abilities, improved memory, and even a delay in the onset of age-related cognitive decline. Intrigued and inspired, they decided to embark on a new adventure, learning English together. The beginning of the journey. Ella and Luca started their journey with enthusiasm, attending English classes at the village community center. Their teacher, Mrs. Thompson, was a kind and patient woman who had traveled the world and spoke multiple languages. She explained how learning a new language is like opening a window to a different culture, allowing them to see the world from a fresh perspective. As they delved into their lessons, they discovered the first effect on their brains: increased cognitive flexibility. They found that switching between languages was akin to solving puzzles. It required their brains to become more adept at multitasking and problem-solving. For example, Ella noticed that her ability to think creatively in her art improved. She could now come up with more innovative ideas and solutions. Luca, on the other hand, found that his musical compositions became more complex and intricate, as if he had unlocked a new dimension of creativity. The magic of neuroplasticity. Mrs. Thompson often spoke about neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. She explained that learning a new language strengthens the brain much like exercising strengthens muscles. Ella and Luca could almost feel their brains growing stronger with each new word and grammar rule they learned. One day, Mrs. Thompson gave them a fascinating exercise, learning idiomatic expressions. They were delighted by phrases like raining cats and dogs and break a leg. This exercise highlighted another benefit of language learning: improved memory. To remember these idioms, they had to use mnemonic devices and associative memory techniques. Over time, they found that their ability to remember other types of information, like shopping lists or important dates, also improved significantly. The social brain. As Ella and Luca became more proficient in English, they started conversing with tourists who visited their village. This practice revealed another profound effect: enhanced social skills. Engaging in conversations with people from different backgrounds improved their empathy and understanding. They learned to listen more carefully and express themselves more clearly. Ella found that her art began to reflect these interactions. Her paintings now told stories of diverse cultures and experiences, resonating with a broader audience. Luca's music, too, took on a global flavor, incorporating elements from various traditions he encountered through conversations with travelers. The unexpected gift. Months passed, and Ella and Luca's commitment to learning English paid off in ways they had never anticipated. One evening, as they were studying together, they stumbled upon a study that showed bilingualism could delay the onset of Alzheimer's disease. This revelation was like finding a hidden treasure. They realized that their efforts not only enriched their present lives but also safeguarded their future mental health. They decided to share their journey and its benefits with their community. They organized a village festival celebrating languages and cultures, inviting people to learn new words and phrases from different languages. The festival was a huge success, fostering a sense of unity and curiosity among the villagers. The final chapter. Years later, Ella and Luca looked back on their journey with gratitude. Learning English had transformed their lives in ways they could never have imagined. Their minds were sharper, their creativity boundless, and their social connections richer. They had opened not just a window but a door to a world of endless possibilities. Their story spread beyond the village, inspiring others to embark on their own language-learning adventures. And as more people embraced the challenge, the village became a melting pot of languages and cultures, a testament to the power of the human mind and the beauty of lifelong learning. And so, Ella and Luca's journey reminds us all that learning a new language is more than just acquiring a skill, It's a gateway to a healthier, more vibrant mind and a richer, more connected life. The end. If you're inspired by Ella and Luca's story, why not start your own language learning journey? Whether you're learning English or any other language, remember that every new word is a step towards a stronger brain and a more connected world. Happy learning!
Story 2.
The Journey to a Healthier Self, The Power of Physical Activity.
Once upon a time, in the vibrant town of Fitville, lived a young woman named Mia. Mia had always been curious about the secrets behind living a healthy and happy life. She enjoyed reading books and watching documentaries, but she felt something was missing. One sunny day, she decided to embark on a journey to discover the impact of physical activity on the body and brain. Little did she know, this journey would change her life forever.
The first step, understanding the basics.
Mia started her journey by visiting Dr. Lee, a renowned local physician who was known for his expertise in physical health. Dr. Lee welcomed Mia with a warm smile and began explaining the basics. Physical activity is any movement that works your muscles and requires more energy than resting, he said. It includes exercises like walking, running, dancing, and even household chores. He then detailed the general benefits of physical activity: improved cardiovascular health, stronger muscles and bones, better weight management, and enhanced mental well-being. Mia was fascinated and eager to learn more about how specific activities impacted different parts of the body and mind.
Cardiovascular health, the heart of the matter.
Dr. Lee suggested Mia start with activities that boost cardiovascular health. He explained that aerobic exercises, also known as cardio, are excellent for this purpose. Running, swimming, cycling, and brisk walking are all great examples, he said. Mia decided to try running. She laced up her sneakers and headed to the local park. At first, it was challenging, but as she persisted, she noticed significant improvements. Her heart rate became more efficient, she had more energy throughout the day, and she even started losing some weight. Dr. Lee had told her that cardio helps reduce the risk of heart disease, lowers blood pressure, and improves cholesterol levels. Mia was thrilled to see these benefits in action.
Strength training, building a strong foundation.
Next, Mia visited the town's gym to explore strength training. There, she met Coach Sam, who specialized in weightlifting and resistance exercises. Coach Sam explained, strength training involves exercises that improve your muscular strength and endurance. This includes lifting weights, using resistance bands, and bodyweight exercises like push-ups and squats. Mia was initially intimidated by the idea of lifting weights, but Coach Sam guided her through a beginner's routine. As she progressed, she noticed her muscles becoming more toned and her overall strength increasing. She learned that strength training not only builds muscle but also strengthens bones, boosts metabolism, and improves posture. Mia felt more confident and empowered with each session.
Flexibility and balance, finding your center.
One day, Mia stumbled upon a serene yoga studio. Intrigued, she joined a class led by instructor Elena, who introduced her to the world of yoga and flexibility training. Yoga combines physical postures, breathing exercises, and meditation to enhance flexibility, balance, and overall well-being, Elena explained. Mia embraced yoga with open arms. The stretching and balancing poses helped alleviate her muscle tension and improved her flexibility. She found herself feeling more relaxed and focused. Elena explained that activities like yoga and Pilates are excellent for enhancing flexibility, improving balance, and reducing the risk of injuries. They also promote mental clarity and reduce stress, which Mia experienced firsthand.
Mental health, the mind-body connection.
Mia's journey wouldn't be complete without exploring the impact of physical activity on mental health. She met with Dr. Patel, a psychologist who specialized in the mind-body connection. Dr. Patel explained, physical activity has profound effects on mental health. It releases endorphins, which are chemicals in the brain that act as natural painkillers and mood elevators. Mia had noticed that after her runs and yoga sessions, she felt happier and more at peace. Dr. Patel told her that regular physical activity can reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety, improve sleep, and boost cognitive function. Activities like dancing, hiking, and even playing sports can have significant mental health benefits, he said.
Exploring different activities.
Mia decided to try a variety of activities to see how they impacted her body and mind. She joined a dance class and found joy in moving to the rhythm of the music. Dancing improved her cardiovascular health, coordination, and mood. She also started hiking on weekends, which combined cardio with the mental health benefits of being in nature. The fresh air and beautiful landscapes made her feel rejuvenated and inspired. Additionally, Mia tried swimming, which provided a full-body workout without putting stress on her joints. She loved the feeling of weightlessness in the water and noticed improvements in her muscle tone and lung capacity.
The final chapter, a balanced routine.
After months of exploring different physical activities, Mia realized that the key to a healthy and happy life was a balanced routine. She combined cardio exercises, strength training, flexibility workouts, and activities that boosted her mental health. Her weekly routine included running, weightlifting, yoga, dancing, and hiking. Mia also paid attention to her body's needs, ensuring she got enough rest and recovery. She learned that overtraining could lead to injuries and burnout, so she listened to her body and adjusted her routine accordingly.
Sharing her journey.
Inspired by her transformation, Mia decided to share her journey with the world. She started a YouTube channel called The Journey to a Healthier Self, where she documented her experiences and the benefits of various physical activities. Her channel quickly gained popularity as viewers resonated with her story and were motivated to embark on their own fitness journeys. Mia's videos included tips on starting a fitness routine, the science behind physical activity, and personal anecdotes about how each activity impacted her body and mind. She encouraged her viewers to find activities they enjoyed and to make physical activity a fun and integral part of their lives.
The end.
Mia's journey to a healthier self not only transformed her body and mind but also inspired countless others to embrace physical activity. She proved that with curiosity, determination, and an open mind, anyone could unlock the incredible benefits of an active lifestyle. And so, Mia continued her adventure, exploring new activities, learning more about the human body, and spreading the joy of movement to people all around the world.
Story 3.
The Thrill of Fear, a journey into the human psyche.
Once upon a time, in a bustling town named Harrowville, lived a curious teenager named Jack. Jack was an average student, loved playing soccer, and had a fascination for all things spooky. His friends often wondered why he was so enthralled by crime podcasts, horror movies, and scary computer games. Little did they know, Jack was about to uncover the reasons behind this fascination through an extraordinary adventure.
The Mysterious Invitation.
One crisp autumn evening, Jack found an old, ornate envelope in his mailbox. The envelope bore no return address, just his name written in elegant calligraphy. Inside was an invitation to a special event at the Harrowville Historical Society, titled The Thrill of Fear, A Journey into the Human Psyche. Intrigued, Jack decided to attend. The event promised to explore why people are drawn to fear and how it affects the brain. He couldn't resist the opportunity to learn more about his peculiar fascination.
The Historical Society.
On the night of the event, Jack arrived at the Historical Society, an imposing building with Gothic architecture and a rich history. The interior was dimly lit, with flickering candles casting eerie shadows on the walls. The atmosphere sent a shiver down Jack's spine, but he felt an inexplicable excitement. He was greeted by Dr. Eleanor Frost, a renowned psychologist and expert in fear. Dr. Frost welcomed the attendees and led them into a grand hall filled with exhibits showcasing the history of horror in various forms: books, movies, games, and even ancient folklore.
The Origins of Fear.
Dr. Frost began her presentation by discussing the origins of fear. She explained that fear is an ancient and essential emotion, hardwired into our brains as a survival mechanism. In prehistoric times, fear kept our ancestors alive by alerting them to dangers such as predators or other threats. This fight-or-flight response is still present in us today. Jack listened intently, realizing that his love for horror might be rooted in this primal instinct. The adrenaline rush he experienced while watching a horror movie or playing a scary game was his body's way of preparing to face a threat, even if it was just fictional.
The Appeal of Horror.
Next, Dr. Frost delved into the psychological appeal of horror. She pointed out that scary stories and experiences allow us to explore fear in a controlled environment. When we watch a horror movie or listen to a crime podcast, we know that we are safe, even as we immerse ourselves in terrifying scenarios. This paradox creates a thrill, an exhilarating mix of fear and safety. Dr. Frost shared a fascinating study that showed how our brains respond to horror. When we experience fear in a controlled setting, our brains release dopamine, the same chemical associated with pleasure and reward. This explains why people often feel a sense of euphoria after a good scare.
The Social Connection.
Jack was captivated by another aspect Dr. Frost highlighted: the social connection. Engaging with fear-inducing content often brings people together. Friends gather to watch horror movies, discuss the latest crime podcasts, or team up to play scary games. This shared experience can strengthen bonds and create a sense of camaraderie. Dr. Frost invited the attendees to share their own experiences with fear. Jack spoke about his Friday night horror movie marathons with friends and how they would laugh and scream together. He realized that these moments of fear and fun had brought them closer, creating lasting memories.
Facing the Unknown.
As the evening progressed, Dr. Frost introduced the concept of facing the unknown. Horror often involves confronting the mysterious and the unexplained, which taps into our curiosity. Humans are naturally curious beings, and horror provides a way to explore the unknown safely. Jack recalled the countless nights he had spent engrossed in mystery novels and crime podcasts, piecing together clues and trying to solve the puzzle before the protagonist did. This need to understand and conquer the unknown was a significant part of his attraction to fear.
Empowerment and Control.
Dr. Frost concluded her presentation by discussing how experiencing fear can be empowering. When we face and overcome fear, even in a fictional setting, it can boost our confidence and sense of control. This is why some people seek out fear-inducing activities, to prove to themselves that they can handle it. Jack thought about his favorite horror games, where he had to navigate dark corridors and face terrifying monsters. Each victory over these digital fears gave him a sense of accomplishment and control, reinforcing his self-confidence.
The Ultimate Test.
As the event drew to a close, Dr. Frost had one final surprise. She invited the attendees to participate in an interactive experience, a haunted house simulation set up in the basement of the Historical Society. Jack, along with a few other brave souls, eagerly volunteered. The haunted house was filled with realistic scares, from animatronic ghosts to cleverly timed jump scares. Jack's heart raced and his palms were sweaty, but he pushed through, determined to conquer his fear. By the end, he felt an incredible rush of adrenaline and a triumphant sense of accomplishment.
The Revelation.
Walking home that night, Jack reflected on everything he had learned. He understood now why he and so many others were drawn to fear. It was not just about the scares, but about the thrill, the social connections, the curiosity, and the empowerment that came with it. He decided to share his newfound knowledge with his friends and others in the community. Jack started a blog where he wrote about his experiences and the psychology of fear. His blog quickly gained a following, as people resonated with his insights and shared their own stories.
End.
In time, Jack became known as Harrowville's expert on all things spooky. He continued to explore and share the wonders of fear, helping others understand and embrace their fascination with the dark and the unknown. And so, Jack's journey, which began with a mysterious invitation, led him to a deeper understanding of himself and the powerful, thrilling emotion of fear.
If you've ever wondered why you enjoy a good scare, remember Jack's story. Embrace your fascination with fear, knowing that it connects us to our primal instincts, fuels our curiosity, strengthens our social bonds, and empowers us. So, whether it's a horror movie, a crime podcast, or a scary game, enjoy the thrill and share the experience with others. Happy haunting!
Story 4.
Living with ADHD, a journey of challenges and strengths.
Introduction. Once upon a time in a bustling city, there was a young girl named Mia. Mia was bright, creative, and full of energy, but she always felt different from her peers. She found it hard to focus in school, struggled to sit still during class, and often felt overwhelmed by her emotions. Mia's parents, teachers, and friends noticed her difficulties, but no one quite understood what was going on. It wasn't until Mia was diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, that her journey truly began.
Understanding ADHD.
ADHD is a neurodevelopmental disorder that affects both children and adults. It is characterized by symptoms of inattention, hyperactivity, and impulsivity. These symptoms can vary in intensity and may present differently in each individual. For Mia, ADHD was a constant companion, influencing her daily life in many ways.
Symptoms of ADHD.
Mia's struggles were a mix of common ADHD symptoms, each presenting its own set of challenges. Inattention. Mia found it hard to focus on tasks, especially those that required sustained mental effort. Her mind would often wander during lessons, making it difficult for her to follow along. She frequently misplaced her belongings, forgot to complete homework assignments, and had trouble organizing her thoughts and tasks. Hyperactivity. Mia had boundless energy. She was always on the move, fidgeting in her seat, tapping her feet, or doodling in her notebook. Sitting still for extended periods was almost impossible for her. Her restlessness often led her to interrupt others or act out of turn. Impulsivity. Mia struggled with impulsive behavior. She would blurt out answers in class without raising her hand, interrupt conversations, and have difficulty waiting for her turn. Her impulsivity sometimes led her into risky situations or caused misunderstandings with friends and teachers.
The neurological basis of ADHD.
As Mia and her family learned more about ADHD, they discovered that it was not just a matter of behavior, but had a neurological basis. ADHD is linked to differences in brain structure and function. Research has shown that individuals with ADHD may have abnormalities in areas of the brain responsible for attention, impulse control, and executive function. Brain structure. Studies have found that people with ADHD may have smaller volumes in certain brain regions, such as the prefrontal cortex, which is involved in planning, decision-making, and impulse control. The basal ganglia, which play a role in motor control and behavior regulation, may also be affected. Neurotransmitters. ADHD is associated with imbalances in neurotransmitters, particularly dopamine and norepinephrine. These chemicals are crucial for transmitting signals between nerve cells and are involved in regulating attention and behavior. In individuals with ADHD, the pathways that produce and use these neurotransmitters may not function optimally. Genetics. ADHD often runs in families, suggesting a genetic component. Researchers have identified several genes that may contribute to the development of ADHD, though no single gene is responsible for the disorder. The interplay of multiple genetic factors likely influences the risk of developing ADHD.
The challenges of living with ADHD.
For Mia, living with ADHD meant facing numerous challenges daily. She often felt frustrated and misunderstood, but she also discovered unique strengths that came with her condition. Academic struggles. School was a constant source of stress for Mia. Despite her intelligence and creativity, she found it hard to keep up with the curriculum. Her inattentiveness led to poor grades, and her hyperactivity sometimes caused her to get in trouble with teachers. She needed extra time to complete assignments and often felt overwhelmed by the demands of schoolwork. Social difficulties. Making and keeping friends was challenging for Mia. Her impulsivity and hyperactivity sometimes made her come across as rude or disruptive, even though she didn't intend to be. She often interrupted conversations and had difficulty listening to others, which strained her relationships with peers. Emotional regulation. Mia's emotions were intense and could change rapidly. She experienced frequent mood swings, from excitement to frustration to sadness, often in a short period. Managing her emotions was tough, leading to meltdowns and feelings of isolation.
The strengths of ADHD.
Despite the challenges, Mia discovered that ADHD also came with unique strengths. These strengths helped her navigate life in ways that were both fulfilling and empowering. Creativity and imagination. Mia's mind was a whirlwind of ideas. She excelled in creative activities like drawing, writing stories, and coming up with imaginative solutions to problems. Her creativity allowed her to see the world in unique ways and approach tasks from fresh perspectives. Hyperfocus. While Mia struggled with inattention, she also experienced periods of hyperfocus. When engaged in activities she was passionate about, she could concentrate intensely for hours. This ability to immerse herself deeply in tasks helped her excel in areas like art and gaming. Energy and enthusiasm. Mia's boundless energy was not always a drawback. Her enthusiasm for activities she enjoyed was infectious, and she could motivate and inspire others with her passion. Whether it was playing sports or organizing events, Mia's energy made her a dynamic and engaging presence. Resilience and adaptability. Living with ADHD required Mia to develop resilience and adaptability. She learned to bounce back from setbacks, find alternative ways to accomplish tasks, and adapt to changing circumstances. These skills made her more resourceful and determined in pursuing her goals.
Treatment and support.
As Mia and her family navigated her ADHD journey, they discovered various treatments and support systems that made a significant difference in her life. Medication. After consulting with a healthcare professional, Mia started taking medication to help manage her ADHD symptoms. Stimulant medications like methylphenidate and amphetamines were commonly prescribed for ADHD. These medications helped increase dopamine levels in the brain, improving attention and reducing hyperactivity and impulsivity. Therapy. Behavioral therapy was another essential component of Mia's treatment plan. Working with a therapist, Mia learned strategies to manage her symptoms, improve her organizational skills, and develop better coping mechanisms. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, helped her address negative thought patterns and build confidence. Educational support. Mia's school provided accommodations to support her learning. She received extra time on tests, had access to a quiet space for exams, and was given assignments in smaller, manageable chunks. Her teachers also used positive reinforcement to encourage her efforts and achievements. Diet and lifestyle. Mia and her family explored the impact of diet on ADHD symptoms. While there was no specific diet to cure ADHD, some dietary changes helped manage symptoms. Reducing sugar intake, eating balanced meals, and incorporating omega-3 fatty acids from fish and flaxseed into her diet made a positive difference. Regular exercise also helped Mia burn off excess energy and improve her focus.
Building a support system.
Mia's journey with ADHD was not one she faced alone. She had a strong support system that included her family, friends, teachers, and healthcare professionals. This support network played a crucial role in helping her navigate the challenges and celebrate her strengths. Family support. Mia's family was her biggest advocate. They educated themselves about ADHD, attended support groups, and worked closely with her school to ensure she received the necessary accommodations. Their understanding and encouragement made a significant difference in her confidence and well-being. Peer support. Mia joined a local ADHD support group where she met other children with similar experiences. Sharing her struggles and successes with peers who understood her challenges provided a sense of belonging and validation. These friendships helped Mia feel less alone and more empowered. School support. Mia's teachers played a vital role in her academic journey. They implemented strategies to help her stay organized, provided positive reinforcement, and created an inclusive classroom environment. Collaborating with school counselors and special education staff ensured that Mia's needs were met.
The future with ADHD.
As Mia grew older, she continued to embrace her ADHD and the unique qualities it brought to her life. She pursued her passions, developed her strengths, and learned to navigate her challenges with resilience and determination. Higher education and career. Mia's creativity and hyperfocus led her to excel in fields that valued innovation and out-of-the-box thinking. She pursued a career in graphic design, where her ability to think creatively and work intensely on projects set her apart. With the right support and accommodations, she thrived in her professional life. Advocacy and awareness. Mia became an advocate for ADHD awareness, sharing her story to help others understand the condition better. She spoke at schools, wrote articles, and participated in community events to raise awareness and reduce the stigma surrounding ADHD. Her advocacy work inspired others to seek help and embrace their unique strengths. Continued growth. Mia's journey with ADHD was ongoing. She continued to learn about herself, adapt to new challenges, and find strategies that worked for her. With the support of her loved ones and a strong sense of self-acceptance, Mia lived a fulfilling and meaningful life.
Conclusion.
Mia's story is a testament to the challenges and strengths that come with living with ADHD. While the condition presents unique difficulties, it also brings valuable qualities that can lead to personal growth and success. With the right support, understanding, and self-awareness, individuals with ADHD can navigate their journeys and achieve their full potential.
Story 5.
The Secret Lives of Cats, from Ancient Guardians to Internet Royals.
Once upon a time, in a cozy little town called Whiskerville, lived a young girl named Lily. Lily loved animals, but she had a special fondness for cats. Her own cat, Whiskers, was a constant source of amusement and wonder. One rainy afternoon, as Lily sat curled up with Whiskers, she began to wonder about the secrets of these mysterious creatures. Little did she know, Whiskers was about to take her on an extraordinary journey into the world of cats.
The origins of the domestic cat.
Whiskers began to purr, and Lily felt herself drifting into a dream. In her dream, Whiskers spoke, his voice gentle and wise. "Let me take you back to where it all began," he said. Suddenly, they were transported to ancient Egypt, where cats were revered as sacred beings. Whiskers explained that domestic cats, known scientifically as Felis catus, are descendants of the African wildcat, Felis sylvestris libica. These wild cats began to live alongside humans around 10,000 years ago, attracted by the abundance of rodents in grain stores. The Egyptians worshipped cats for their hunting prowess, which protected food supplies from pests. They believed cats had divine connections and even mummified them for the afterlife. This, Whiskers said with a twinkle in his eye, is where our journey into human hearts began.
Unique traits and instincts.
Lily and Whiskers then found themselves in a lush forest. Whiskers explained that cats have retained many of their wild instincts. They are solitary hunters by nature, with incredible stealth and agility. A cat's retractable claws, keen eyesight, and acute hearing make them perfect predators. Even domestic cats display these hunting skills, pouncing on toys and stalking shadows around the house. Whiskers leapt gracefully onto a tree branch to demonstrate his balance and agility. Our flexible bodies and powerful hind legs allow us to jump great heights, he said, landing softly beside Lily. This is why you often find us perched on high shelves or sneaking into small spaces.
The perception of the world.
Whiskers then led Lily to a room filled with mirrors, each reflecting a different aspect of a cat's perception. We see the world differently than humans do, he explained. Cats have a wider field of vision and superior night vision, thanks to a special layer of cells called the tapetum lucidum, which reflects light through the retina. This makes them excellent nocturnal hunters. However, Whiskers continued, our color vision is limited compared to humans. We see the world primarily in shades of blue and green. He pointed to another mirror showing a cat's sensitive whiskers, which help them navigate and detect changes in their environment. Our whiskers are like antennae, providing us with crucial information about our surroundings.
Eating habits and preferences.
Next, Whiskers took Lily to a banquet hall filled with all kinds of food. Cats are obligate carnivores, he explained. This means we need meat to survive. Our bodies are designed to process high-protein, high-fat diets. Whiskers showed Lily a variety of meats, from chicken to fish, explaining that these foods provide essential nutrients like taurine and arginine, vital for a cat's health. He also pointed out how cats often prefer to eat several small meals throughout the day, mimicking their natural hunting behavior. And don't forget the water, Whiskers added, leading Lily to a fountain. We prefer running water, which is why you'll often see us fascinated by faucets.
The kings of the Internet.
Finally, Whiskers and Lily found themselves in a brightly lit room filled with computers and smartphones. Now, Whiskers said, let's explore why we are the kings of the Internet. People love us online because we are cute, funny, and mysterious, Whiskers explained. Our playful antics and expressive faces make for entertaining and shareable content. He showed Lily a compilation of viral cat videos, from cats knocking things off tables to kittens chasing laser pointers. Whiskers then revealed another reason for their online fame: cats provide comfort and companionship, often acting as a source of joy and relaxation for people around the world. In a way, we've become symbols of comfort and happiness, he said, his eyes glowing with pride.
The return home.
As the journey came to an end, Lily and Whiskers found themselves back in their cozy living room. Lily woke up with a start, Whiskers purring contentedly beside her. She now understood why she loved cats so much and why they held such a special place in the hearts of people everywhere. With a smile, Lily decided to share her newfound knowledge with others. She started a YouTube channel called The Secret Lives of Cats, where she told the story of Whiskers and the amazing world of domestic cats. Her videos quickly gained popularity, as viewers were enchanted by the fascinating facts and adorable footage of cats. And so, Lily and Whiskers continued their adventure, bringing joy and understanding to cat lovers all around the world.
Story 6.
The Enigmatic World of Mushrooms.
Introduction. In a quiet forest nestled at the edge of a bustling town, a young scientist named Lily embarked on a journey of discovery. She had always been fascinated by the natural world, but there was one particular group of organisms that captured her imagination like no other: mushrooms. Little did she know, her exploration of mushrooms would unveil their mysterious properties, unique life processes, and remarkable applications in medicine.
The life process of mushrooms.
Lily's journey began with a basic understanding of what mushrooms are. Mushrooms are the fruiting bodies of fungi, organisms that are neither plants nor animals. They belong to their own kingdom, fungi, and play a vital role in ecosystems as decomposers. Lily marveled at the life process of mushrooms, which began with something invisible to the naked eye: spores. Spore dispersal. The life cycle of a mushroom starts with spores, tiny reproductive units that float through the air. These spores are released from the gills or pores located on the underside of the mushroom cap. When the conditions are right, adequate moisture, temperature, and nutrients, these spores germinate and develop into thread-like structures called hyphae. Hyphae and mycelium. As the hyphae grow, they branch out and interconnect to form a network called mycelium. This mycelium spreads through the soil, wood, or other organic material, breaking down complex substances into simpler compounds. The mycelium is the true body of the fungus, often hidden beneath the surface, working tirelessly to decompose organic matter. Fruiting body formation. When the mycelium has accumulated enough nutrients and environmental conditions are favorable, it produces the fruiting bodies we recognize as mushrooms. These mushrooms emerge from the ground, showcasing a variety of shapes, sizes, and colors. The cycle continues as mature mushrooms release spores into the environment, beginning the process anew.
Unusual properties of mushrooms.
Lily soon discovered that mushrooms were not only fascinating because of their life process, but also because of their unusual properties. Each species of mushroom had its own unique characteristics, some of which seemed almost magical. Bioluminescence. One of the most enchanting properties Lily encountered was bioluminescence. Certain mushrooms, such as the foxfire or ghost fungus, emit a soft, eerie glow in the dark. This bioluminescence is caused by a chemical reaction involving a pigment called luciferin and an enzyme called luciferase. The glow serves various purposes, from attracting insects for spore dispersal to deterring predators. Mycorrhizal relationships. Lily was amazed by the symbiotic relationships between mushrooms and plants, known as mycorrhizal associations. In these partnerships, the mycelium of fungi connects with the roots of plants, forming a mutually beneficial relationship. The mycelium helps the plant absorb water and nutrients, while the plant provides the fungus with sugars produced through photosynthesis. This relationship enhances the health and growth of both partners. Decomposition and bioremediation. Mushrooms are nature's recyclers. Certain species, like the oyster mushroom, are capable of breaking down complex organic pollutants, including oil spills and pesticides. This process, known as bioremediation, has significant environmental implications, offering a natural way to clean up contaminated sites.
Applications in medicine.
As Lily delved deeper into the world of mushrooms, she uncovered their remarkable applications in medicine. Throughout history, various cultures have recognized the healing properties of mushrooms, and modern science continues to explore their potential. Traditional medicine. In traditional Chinese medicine, mushrooms like reishi, Ganoderma lucidum, and shiitake, Lentinula edota, have been used for centuries to boost the immune system, enhance longevity, and improve overall health. These mushrooms are rich in bioactive compounds, including polysaccharides and triterpenes, which contribute to their therapeutic effects. Immune support. Lily was particularly fascinated by the immune-boosting properties of certain mushrooms. For example, the turkey tail mushroom, Trametes versicolor, contains compounds that stimulate the immune system and enhance its ability to fight infections. Research has shown that extracts from turkey tail can support cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy by improving their immune response. Anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Mushrooms like chaga, Inonotus obliquus, and lion's mane, Hericium arenaceus, have potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Chaga is rich in antioxidants, which help protect cells from damage caused by free radicals. Lion's mane, known for its unique appearance resembling a lion's mane, contains compounds that promote nerve growth and may support cognitive function. Antibacterial and antiviral effects. Lily discovered that mushrooms also possess antibacterial and antiviral properties. The maitake mushroom, Grifola frondosa, for example, has been studied for its potential to inhibit the growth of certain bacteria and viruses. These properties make mushrooms valuable in developing new antimicrobial agents, especially in the face of rising antibiotic resistance.
The future of mushroom medicine.
As Lily's exploration continued, she realized that the potential of mushrooms in medicine was vast and still largely untapped. Researchers were constantly discovering new compounds and applications, paving the way for innovative treatments. Cancer research, one of the most promising areas of research, involves the use of mushrooms in cancer treatment. Compounds found in mushrooms like Agaricus blazei and Cordyceps sinensis have shown potential in inhibiting tumor growth and enhancing the effectiveness of chemotherapy. Ongoing studies aim to unlock the full potential of these compounds and develop new cancer therapies. Mental health. Lily was intrigued by the emerging field of psychedelic therapy, which explores the use of psychedelic mushrooms like Psilocybe cubensis. Psilocybin, the active compound in these mushrooms, has shown promise in treating conditions such as depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Clinical trials are underway to investigate the safety and efficacy of psilocybin-assisted therapy. Gut health. Mushrooms are also being studied for their impact on gut health. The prebiotic properties of certain mushrooms, such as those in the genus Pleurotus, support the growth of beneficial gut bacteria. A healthy gut microbiome is essential for overall well-being, influencing everything from digestion to immune function.
Lily's personal journey.
Inspired by her discoveries, Lily decided to conduct her own experiments with mushrooms. She started a small mushroom cultivation project in her backyard, growing varieties like oyster, shiitake, and lion's mane. She documented the growth process, observing the mycelium's intricate network and the emergence of fruiting bodies. Through her experiments, Lily gained a deeper appreciation for the complexities of mushrooms. She learned to identify different species, understand their growing conditions, and appreciate their unique flavors and textures. She also experimented with creating her own mushroom-based remedies, incorporating them into her diet and sharing her findings with friends and family.
Conclusion.
Lily's journey through the world of mushrooms opened her eyes to the incredible diversity and potential of these fascinating organisms. From their mysterious life processes and unusual properties to their applications in medicine, mushrooms proved to be a source of endless wonder and discovery.
Story 7.
The story of democracy, from ancient beginnings to modern triumphs.
Once upon a time, in a small, sunlit classroom in the heart of Athens, a curious young boy named Alexios sat listening to his teacher, Socrates. Socrates was not just any teacher, he was one of the greatest philosophers of all time. On this particular day, he was explaining the concept of democracy, a term that intrigued Alexios deeply.
The birth of democracy in ancient Greece.
Socrates began his lesson with the origins of democracy. Democracy, he explained, comes from the Greek words demos, meaning the people, and kratos, meaning power or rule. It literally means the rule of the people. Socrates painted a vivid picture of how democracy was born in Athens around 508 BCE under the leadership of Cleisthenes. Cleisthenes, often called the father of Athenian democracy, introduced reforms that allowed ordinary citizens to participate in government. He reorganized the population into 10 tribes, each with representatives in the assembly, a body that made important decisions for the city-state. This system was revolutionary because it gave power to the common people, not just the elite.
The Athenian Assembly.
Alexios imagined himself standing in the Pnyx, the hill where the assembly met. He saw citizens debating laws, voting on policies, and holding leaders accountable. Every male citizen over the age of 18 could speak and vote, a stark contrast to the monarchies and oligarchies that ruled most of the ancient world. The assembly operated on the principle of direct democracy, where citizens voted directly on legislation rather than electing representatives to make decisions for them. This system required active participation and fostered a sense of civic duty among the Athenians.
The role of philosophers.
Socrates continued, democracy also gave rise to critical thinking and philosophical debate. Philosophers like Plato and Aristotle examined its strengths and weaknesses. Plato, a student of Socrates, was skeptical of democracy, fearing that it could lead to mob rule and the election of unqualified leaders. In his work The Republic, he proposed a government led by philosopher kings, who would rule with wisdom and justice. Aristotle, Plato's student, took a more pragmatic view. He believed in a mixed government that balanced elements of democracy, oligarchy, and monarchy. Aristotle's ideas influenced future political thinkers and helped shape the development of democratic institutions.
Democracy in Rome.
As Alexios grew older, his fascination with democracy only deepened. He traveled to Rome, where he learned about the Roman Republic, which existed from 509 BCE to 27 BCE. The Roman Republic had a complex system of government that combined elements of democracy with oligarchy. In Rome, the citizens elected representatives to the Senate, a powerful body that made laws and advised the consuls, the chief executives of the Republic. Although the Roman Republic was not a pure democracy, it introduced the concept of a representative government, where elected officials acted on behalf of the people.
The fall of ancient democracies.
Despite their innovations, both Athenian democracy and the Roman Republic eventually fell. Socrates' dire predictions seemed to come true when Athens succumbed to internal strife and external pressures, leading to its conquest by Macedon in 338 BCE. The Roman Republic, plagued by corruption, social inequality, and power struggles, gave way to the Roman Empire in 27 BCE. Alexios pondered the lessons of history. He realized that democracy was fragile and required constant vigilance to protect against tyranny and corruption.
The Renaissance and Enlightenment.
Centuries passed, and democracy lay dormant, overshadowed by monarchies and feudal systems. But Alexios' spirit of curiosity and inquiry lived on in the minds of scholars during the Renaissance and Enlightenment. In the 17th and 18th centuries, thinkers like John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Montesquieu reignited the flame of democratic ideas. Locke's theories of natural rights and government by consent influenced the development of modern democratic principles. Rousseau's concept of the social contract emphasized the importance of the general will and direct participation in governance. Montesquieu's idea of the separation of powers, outlined in The Spirit of the Laws, proposed dividing government into branches to prevent any one group from gaining too much power. These ideas laid the groundwork for modern democratic systems.
The American Revolution.
Alexios' journey took him across the Atlantic to the American colonies in the late 18th century. There, he witnessed the birth of a new democracy. Inspired by Enlightenment ideals, the American colonists declared their independence from Britain in 1776. The Founding Fathers, including George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and James Madison, designed a system of government that incorporated democratic principles. The United States Constitution, adopted in 1787, established a federal republic with a strong emphasis on individual rights and the rule of law. The Constitution created a system of checks and balances, with separate executive, legislative, and judicial branches. This structure aimed to prevent any one branch from becoming too powerful and ensured accountability and transparency in government.
The French Revolution.
Shortly after the American Revolution, Alexios found himself in France, where the French Revolution was unfolding. Inspired by the American example and fueled by social and economic inequalities, the French people rose up against the monarchy in 1789. The French Revolution led to the establishment of the First French Republic and the adoption of the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, a foundational document that enshrined principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Although the French Revolution experienced periods of turmoil and the rise of authoritarianism, it significantly contributed to the spread of democratic ideals in Europe and beyond.
The 19th century and expanding suffrage.
Throughout the 19th century, Alexios witnessed the gradual expansion of democratic rights. Many countries, inspired by the American and French revolutions, began to adopt democratic reforms. However, the struggle for universal suffrage was far from over. In Britain, the Reform Acts of 1832, 1867, and 1884 gradually expanded the right to vote, though it was initially limited to property-owning men. The Chartist movement, a working-class campaign for political reform, played a crucial role in advocating for broader suffrage and political representation. The 19th century also saw the abolition of slavery and the beginning of the women's suffrage movement. Activists like Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton fought tirelessly for women's right to vote, laying the groundwork for future victories.
The 20th century. Democracy in peril and triumph.
The 20th century was a tumultuous period for democracy. Alexios witnessed the rise and fall of totalitarian regimes, world wars, and the Cold War. However, it was also a century of significant democratic advancements. After World War I, the League of Nations was established in an attempt to promote peace and cooperation among nations. Although it ultimately failed, it set the stage for the creation of the United Nations after World War II, an organization dedicated to fostering international collaboration and protecting human rights. The post-war period saw a wave of decolonization, as many countries in Africa, Asia, and Latin America gained independence and established democratic governments. The civil rights movement in the United States, led by figures like Martin Luther King Jr., fought for racial equality and voting rights, leading to landmark legislation such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965.
The fall of the Berlin Wall.
One of the most iconic moments of the 20th century was the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989. Alexios found himself in the midst of jubilant crowds as East and West Berliners tore down the wall that had divided them for nearly 3 decades. The fall of the Berlin Wall symbolized the end of the Cold War and the triumph of democracy over totalitarianism in Eastern Europe. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 led to the emergence of new democracies in Eastern Europe and Central Asia. Countries that had been under authoritarian rule for decades began to embrace democratic reforms and establish free and fair elections.
The 21st century. Challenges and opportunities.
As Alexios journeyed into the 21st century, he saw that democracy continued to face significant challenges. The rise of populism, political polarization, and threats to press freedom and human rights posed new risks to democratic institutions. However, Alexios also witnessed the resilience and adaptability of democracy. The Arab Spring uprisings in the early 2010s demonstrated the enduring desire for democratic governance in the Middle East and North Africa. Although the outcomes varied, the movements highlighted the universal aspiration for freedom and political representation. Technological advancements, such as the Internet and social media, provided new platforms for political engagement and activism. While these tools offered opportunities for greater transparency and participation, they also posed challenges related to misinformation and privacy.
The importance of civic education.
Throughout his journey, Alexios realized the crucial role of civic education in sustaining democracy. He saw how informed and engaged citizens were essential for a healthy democratic society. Schools and communities that prioritized teaching the principles of democracy, critical thinking, and civic responsibility helped nurture future generations of active and responsible citizens. Alexios was inspired by initiatives that promoted civic education and participation. Programs like mock elections, debate clubs, and community service projects empowered young people to understand their rights and responsibilities and to contribute positively to their communities.
The future of democracy.
As Alexios' journey came to an end, he reflected on the incredible story of democracy. From its ancient beginnings in Athens to its modern-day challenges and triumphs, democracy had evolved and adapted, driven by the unwavering belief in the power of the people. Alexios understood that the future of democracy depended on the continued commitment of individuals and societies to uphold democratic values, protect human rights, and promote justice and equality. He felt a renewed sense of purpose and responsibility to be an active and informed citizen.
Conclusion.
Alexios' journey through the history and evolution of democracy taught him that the story of democracy is one of perseverance, resilience, and hope. It is a story that belongs to all of us, and it is our collective responsibility to ensure that democracy thrives for future generations.
Story 8.
The thrilling world of skateboarding, from sidewalks to superstars.
Once upon a time, in the sunny streets of Venice, California, a young boy named Jake found an old skateboard in his garage. It was dusty and worn, but something about it sparked his curiosity. Little did Jake know, this simple wooden board on wheels would lead him on a journey through the fascinating history of skateboarding, its evolution, and the legendary figures who shaped the sport.
The beginnings of skateboarding.
Jake's adventure began in the 1950s, when skateboarding was first born. In his dream, he was transported back to the sunny beaches of California, where surfers sought a way to ride the waves on land. They attached roller skate wheels to wooden boards, creating the first skateboards. This early form of skateboarding, known as sidewalk surfing, allowed surfers to practice their moves when the ocean was flat. Jake watched as kids zoomed down the sidewalks, their boards clattering over the pavement. The sport quickly gained popularity, spreading from the beaches to the streets. It was a new way to experience the thrill of surfing, and it captivated the youth of California.
The evolution of the sport.
In the 1960s, skateboarding began to evolve. Jake found himself in a bustling skate shop, surrounded by new and improved boards. The introduction of clay wheels allowed for smoother rides and better control. Skateboard manufacturers started producing more durable and reliable boards, making the sport more accessible to everyone. Jake's dream then transported him to a park where he saw kids practicing new tricks and techniques. Skateboarding was no longer just about riding. It was about creativity and style. Skaters began experimenting with freestyle tricks, inventing moves like the kickflip and the ollie. The sport was becoming an art form, and skaters were the artists.
The rise of skate parks and pools.
As the 1970s rolled in, skateboarding took another leap forward. Jake found himself in an empty swimming pool, where a group of skaters were carving and grinding along the walls. This was the birth of pool skating, a revolutionary development that changed the sport forever. Droughts in California led to many empty backyard pools, and skaters saw an opportunity. They transformed these empty pools into makeshift skate parks, creating a new style of vertical skating. This era also saw the rise of the first official skate parks, designed specifically for skaters to practice and perform their tricks safely.
Legendary figures, the Z-Boys.
Jake's dream introduced him to the Zephyr skate team, better known as the Z-Boys. This group of young skaters from Santa Monica and Venice revolutionized skateboarding with their aggressive style and innovative tricks. The Z-Boys, including legends like Tony Alva, Jay Adams, and Stacy Peralta, brought a new level of intensity and creativity to the sport. Jake watched in awe as the Z-Boys shredded through the pools, their movements fluid and fearless. They became the heroes of the skateboarding world, inspiring a generation of skaters to push the boundaries of what was possible. Their influence helped shape modern skateboarding and cemented its place in popular culture.
The birth of skateboarding competitions.
The late 1970s and early 1980s saw the birth of competitive skateboarding. Jake found himself in a packed arena, watching as skaters performed gravity-defying tricks in front of cheering crowds. Competitions like the Skateboarding World Championships and the Del Mar Nationals showcased the best talent and brought the sport into the mainstream. One of the most iconic figures of this era was Tony Hawk. Jake watched as a young Tony Hawk soared through the air, performing tricks that seemed impossible. Tony Hawk's incredible skills and innovative tricks, like the 900, made him a legend in the skateboarding community. He became a household name and an ambassador for the sport, inspiring countless young skaters around the world.
The street skating revolution.
As Jake's dream continued, he found himself in the gritty urban landscapes of the 1980s and 1990s. Street skating emerged as a new style, taking the sport back to its roots on the sidewalks and streets. Skaters like Rodney Mullen and Mark Gonzalez became pioneers of street skating, inventing new tricks and techniques that utilized the urban environment. Jake watched as skaters ollied over stairs, grinded on handrails, and flipped their boards with precision. Street skating brought a raw, rebellious edge to the sport, making it more accessible and appealing to a broader audience. It also paved the way for the growth of skateboarding media, with magazines, videos, and eventually online platforms showcasing the talents of skaters worldwide.
Skateboarding in the 21st century.
As the 21st century dawned, skateboarding continued to evolve and grow. Jake found himself in a modern skate park, surrounded by skaters of all ages and backgrounds. The sport had become a global phenomenon, with skate parks popping up in cities around the world. One of the most significant milestones was the inclusion of skateboarding in the Olympics. Jake watched with pride as skaters competed on the world stage, showcasing their skills and bringing new levels of recognition to the sport. The Olympics highlighted the diversity and creativity of skateboarding, inspiring a new generation of skaters to take up the board.
The kings and queens of the Internet.
Jake's journey wouldn't be complete without exploring the digital age of skateboarding. He found himself in a room filled with computers and smartphones, where skaters shared their tricks and adventures online. Social media platforms like Instagram and YouTube became powerful tools for skaters to connect with fans and showcase their skills. Jake saw skaters like Nyjah Huston and Letitia Buffoni, who had become global superstars through their online presence. They used social media to share their stories, inspire others, and push the boundaries of what was possible on a skateboard. The internet allowed skateboarding to reach new heights, bringing the sport to a wider audience than ever before.
The final chapter, Jake's skateboarding journey.
Jake woke up from his dream, inspired and eager to start his own skateboarding journey. He grabbed his old skateboard, now with a new sense of purpose. He practiced every day, learning new tricks and pushing himself to improve. Jake joined a local skate crew, finding camaraderie and support in the skateboarding community. He documented his progress and adventures on social media, sharing his passion with the world. Jake's videos gained popularity, and he became a local hero, inspiring other kids in Fitville to take up skateboarding.
Conclusion.
Jake's journey through the history and evolution of skateboarding taught him that the sport was more than just a pastime. It was a way of life, a form of self-expression, and a community that spanned the globe. From its humble beginnings as sidewalk surfing to its status as a global phenomenon, skateboarding had come a long way.
Story 9.
The Rise of Esports, From Pixels to Prodigies.
Once upon a time, in the small town of Pixelville, lived a young boy named Leo. Leo loved video games. He would spend hours in front of his computer, lost in the digital worlds of his favorite games. Little did Leo know, his passion would lead him to explore the fascinating world of esports, a world where video games became a global phenomenon, changing lives and creating new opportunities.
The origins of esports.
Leo's journey began with a question. How did esports start? He delved into the history of competitive gaming, starting with the early days of video games. The story took him back to 1972 at Stanford University, where the first known video game competition took place. Students competed in a game called Space War for a prize of a year's subscription to Rolling Stone magazine. However, the real boom in esports began in the 1990s with the rise of personal computers and the Internet. Leo discovered the story of Quake, a first-person shooter game released in 1996. The game quickly gained a massive following, leading to the first major esports tournament, the Red Annihilation in 1997, where the winner drove away in a Ferrari.
The most famous games in esports.
As Leo continued his research, he learned about the most iconic games in esports history. He discovered that different genres of games had their own esports communities, each with unique appeal and challenges. StarCraft. Leo was fascinated by StarCraft, a real-time strategy game released by Blizzard Entertainment in 1998. Set in a distant future, players commanded armies of different alien races in intense strategic battles. South Korea became the epicenter of StarCraft esports, with players like Lim Boxer, Yohwan achieving legendary status. The game laid the foundation for professional esports teams and leagues. Counter-Strike. Another game that caught Leo's attention was Counter-Strike, a first-person shooter that began as a mod for Half-Life in 1999. Players were divided into terrorists and counter-terrorists, competing in objective-based matches. Counter-Strike's simplicity and competitive nature made it a staple in esports, with tournaments like the ESL One and the Intel Extreme Masters drawing massive audiences. League of Legends. Leo was amazed by the story of League of Legends LOL, a multiplayer online battle arena MOBA game released by Riot Games in 2009. In LOL, teams of 5 players battled to destroy the enemy's nexus, the core building located in their base. The game's deep strategy, fast-paced gameplay, and vibrant community made it one of the most popular esports titles in the world. The annual League of Legends World Championship became a spectacle, with millions of viewers tuning in. Dota 2. Leo also explored the world of Dota 2, another MOBA game developed by Valve Corporation. Released in 2013, Dota 2 featured complex mechanics and high skill ceilings, attracting hardcore gamers. The international Dota 2's premier tournament became famous for its massive prize pools, funded by the game's community through the purchase of in-game items. Fortnite. In recent years, Fortnite by Epic Games took the world by storm. Released in 2017, this battle royale game combined building mechanics with fast-paced shooting action. The game's colorful graphics and unique gameplay attracted a diverse audience, making it a cultural phenomenon. The Fortnite World Cup in 2019 showcased the game's global appeal, with a $3 million prize for the solo champion.
The impact on the brain.
Curious about the effects of gaming, Leo decided to investigate the impact of esports on the brain. He found that, contrary to some negative stereotypes, competitive gaming could have several positive effects. Cognitive skills. Leo learned that playing esports games required quick thinking, strategic planning, and precise execution. Studies showed that gamers often had better hand-eye coordination, faster reaction times, and improved problem-solving abilities. Games like StarCraft and League of Legends demanded players to think multiple steps ahead, similar to chess. Attention and focus. Esports players needed to maintain high levels of concentration for extended periods. This constant engagement could enhance players' attention spans and ability to focus. Leo read about professional gamers who trained their minds to process information rapidly, making split-second decisions during intense matches. Teamwork and communication. Team-based games like Counter-Strike and Dota 2 emphasized the importance of communication and teamwork. Players had to coordinate with their teammates, develop strategies, and execute plans flawlessly. Teamwork and communication. Team-based games like Counter-Strike and Dota 2 emphasized the importance of communication and teamwork. Players had to coordinate with their teammates, develop strategies, and execute plans flawlessly. These skills were not only crucial in-game but also translated to real-life scenarios, such as working effectively in groups. Stress management. Competing at the highest levels of esports could be stressful. Leo discovered that professional gamers develop techniques to manage stress, stay calm under pressure, and maintain their performance. These mental fortitude skills were valuable beyond gaming, helping individuals handle stressful situations in everyday life.
The thrill of competition.
As Leo continued his exploration, he became fascinated by what competition in esports offered to players and fans alike. Achievement and recognition. Leo saw how esports provided a platform for talented individuals to showcase their skills and gain recognition. Players who excelled in their games could rise to fame, earn sponsorships, and compete in prestigious tournaments. The thrill of achieving a high rank or winning a championship was a powerful motivator. Community and belonging. Esports created a sense of community among players and fans. Leo discovered online forums, social media groups, and local meetups where gamers connected, shared experiences, and supported each other. This sense of belonging fostered strong friendships and camaraderie. Entertainment and spectacle. Watching esports was an exhilarating experience. Leo attended a live esports event and was blown away by the energy of the crowd, the dramatic plays, and the sheer excitement of the matches. Just like traditional sports, esports offered thrilling entertainment, complete with commentators, analysis, and passionate fans. Inspiration and aspiration. Esports inspired countless individuals to pursue their passions and dreams. Leo read stories of players who started as casual gamers and went on to become professionals, proving that dedication and hard work could turn a hobby into a career. These stories inspired Leo to believe in his own potential.
The growth of popularity.
Leo marveled at the rapid growth of esports in recent years. He learned about several factors that contributed to its rise in popularity. Technological advancements. The improvement of internet infrastructure and the widespread availability of powerful gaming devices made it easier for people to access and play esports games. Streaming platforms like Twitch and YouTube gaming allowed fans to watch live matches and connect with their favorite players. Global reach. Esports transcended geographical boundaries. Leo discovered that players from all over the world could compete against each other online, fostering a global community. Major tournaments were held in different countries, attracting international audiences and showcasing diverse talent. Investment and sponsorship. The growing popularity of esports attracted significant investment from companies and brands. Leo read about esports organizations securing sponsorships from major corporations, providing financial support for teams and players. This influx of money helped elevate the professionalism of the industry. Cultural acceptance. Over time, the perception of video games shifted from being a niche hobby to a mainstream activity. Celebrity influence. The rise of esports celebrities and influencers played a crucial role in its popularity. Leo followed players like Faker from League of Legends, S1Emple from Counter-Strike, and Ninja from Fortnite, who had millions of followers and inspired fans worldwide. These personalities brought esports into the public eye and attracted new audiences.
Leo's esports journey.
Inspired by everything he had learned, Leo decided to embark on his own esports journey. He joined a local esports club and started training with a team. They practiced regularly, honing their skills developing strategies, and participating in tournaments. Leo found that playing esports was not only about competition, but also about personal growth. He improved his cognitive abilities, learned to manage stress, and developed strong teamwork and communication skills. The sense of achievement and camaraderie kept him motivated and passionate. Leo also became a part of the larger esports community. He attended events, watched live streams, and engaged with fellow gamers online. The shared love for esports created lasting friendships and a sense of belonging that he cherished.
Conclusion.
Leo's journey through the world of esports taught him that competitive gaming was more than just a pastime. It was a global phenomenon that offered cognitive benefits, thrilling competition, and a vibrant community. From its humble beginnings to its current popularity, esports had transformed into a powerful force, inspiring millions of people around the world.